Well, hello, good evening, and welcome to the Grunwalder Stadion here in Bavaria. It's the first of 380 matches in the Dritte Liga this season, starting here with 1860 Munich against Saarbrücken, two teams with plenty of history and plenty of ambition as well, going head-to-head here to kick off yet another fantastic festival of football. The 2024-25 season following hot on the heels, of course, of Euro 2024. Some, differing weather greeted the players in Germany for that tournament, but today in Bavaria, it's just lovely. Yes, it's a bit hot. The sun is out. There's a bit of breeze as well. And here are the lineups then. So the Lions starting off with a pretty much an all-changed team. Only 4 players remain from their last game of last season. A 2-0 loss at home to Arminia Bielefeld. That's Captain Jesper Verlaat, Leroy Quadwo, Lucas Reich and Julian Gutau. Everyone else in there new to the club. And the big call really from Algeria's Giannikis, really. René Verlaat being preferred in goal for the start of this season ahead of Marco Hiller, who managed 9 clean sheets last season. There's Konrad Oldhofer there, the referee for today's game, Alexander Rappelt. Maximilian Niehogen, our linesman for today, with Tobias Huthmacher looking after the technical areas. Here's the Saarbrücken lineup then. 5 changes made to the side that finished last season. There are a lot of injuries for Rüdiger Zeil to take into account here as well, with a whole bunch of his defensive stalwarts missing. Thankfully for him, though, Manuel Zeitz is in there. Kai Brunker, Kasim Rabahic and Simon Steyler. The front 3, very much first choice last season, and again into the start of this campaign as well. It will be a very interesting to see just how 1860 play this season now that Giannikis has had an off-season to work with his side. Not the longest of off-seasons, of course, but still a bit of time rather than just the run-of-the-mill game after game after game. And certainly there has been a change with 1860 this season, starting, we believe, with a back 4 for this first game of the season, having played most of the last campaign with a back 3. Switching to 4 at the back now, hoping for a better attacking platform, certainly. And with new signings, Maximilian Wolfram and Patrick Hopf leading the way up front for Alliance. They'll be hoping, certainly, to score more goals, and that really was their problem last season. 15th they finished in the table, but it was all down to goals scored. They'll have been down in the relegation places. Fortunately, they had a pretty tight defence as well. So just moments away then from the start of this 2024-25 season in the third tier of German football. Konrad Oldhofer checks his watch. Now, are we going to get the countdown to kick off like we were at the Euros, I wonder? No countdown, just the whistle straight back to Volath. It looks like he's going to go long to start off the season. Well, could have been a foul there, given on the edge of the area. The ball nearly fell nicely to Philip, and eventually hacked clear, but only for a throw-in. 1860, as they would hope, on the front foot early in this game. For Saarbrücken, certainly with the pedigree to be pushing for promotion this season. Of course, they had that fantastic run to the semi-finals of the DFB Pokal last season, eventually beaten 2-0 by age-old rivals Kaiserslautern in the semi-final, who of course then lost almost inevitably against Bayer Leverkusen in the final, completing the domestic double were the Werkself last season under Xavi Alonso, and they've managed to keep him for this season as well. But back to the Dritte Liga. Saarbrücken looking to play their way out from the back. Well intercepted from Jakobsen, another of the new signings here for De Lauwen. On the ball again, looks up, thinks about the shot, bit of a deflection though, and that's easily taken by Philip Menzel. New signing, Menzel from the Austrian Bundesliga, Klagenfurt. A couple of players actually arriving at Saarbrücken. Klagenfurt in the rather truncated off-season. And the ball nearly falling for Steyler. Eventually goes through to Volath. So Dominik Becker, Björn Tilke and Berne Ferro all out at the moment, injured for Saarbrücken. Is there a bit of weakness there that can be exploited by the Lions, I wonder? Certainly seeing plenty of the ball in the opening few minutes here. Jakobsen again, back to Velat. Long ball forward. Eventually it dribbles through to Menzel. Long clearance from the back. Interesting that neither team so far trying to play out with that very typical two defenders on the edge of the 6-yard box, inviting the opposition straight onto you, making it very difficult really to play out from the back that way. Volath, the goalkeeper here, moved from local rivals into Hashing in the summer, or earlier this summer I should say. Hashing actually, as a club, very pleased indeed to have finished ahead of 1860 in the table. Hasn't happened often over the years. Quad work closed down by Kai Brunke, one of the goal-scoring heroes from that cup run for Saarbrücken last season. Only 12 goals in the league though, last campaign, 2 assists as well. Very much the battering ran up top for Saarbrücken. Does make space for his teammates to work their magic around him. New signing Raphael Schiffel. Now the ball over onto that right hand side. Nice first touch as well over there. Ball brought in. Teases the ball in. First header comes in and the keeper happy to see that go behind, and the corner's been given. Good defensive work there. Staving off at Wolfram. Nice ball in as well from Lucas Reich, just 17 years of age. Started the last 2 games of last season. He's held his place into the start of the new campaign as well as Lucas Reich. And the first corner. 6 men in and around the area here for 1860. Ball whipped into the back post, and there was a real problem with the marking there for Saarbrücken. And Maximilian Wolfram nearly started his 1860 career with a bang there. Everyone crowded towards the near post. No one covered the back, and in the end, very good goalkeeping from Menzel. His right hand outstretched, clearing the danger. That'll be something for Rudiger Zeil to have a worry about, the marking rather breaking down there from that set piece. Jakobsen this time goes to the near post, flicked on, and it's going to fall on the edge of the area. In comes the shot, but a big miss hit there. And the ball just dribbles out for a goal kick. Julian Gutau, 7 goals last season, 4 assists as well. Started out on the wing last campaign, moved into a more central position as the season rolled on. Brunke trying to use his strength to get past Verlapp, but instead that's almost Rolls-Royce-like defending there from Schiffel. Just cruised in, mopped up, tidied everything away. Of course, being August, the pitch here at the Grunwalder looking superb as well. And the passing not quite clicking for Saarbrücken yet, and again, Wolfram spreads the ball out to the right-hand side, gets the ball back on the edge of the area, swings it in, hacked clear by Vasiliadis. Right, it's all 1860 at the moment. These two teams did play near the end of last season. 20th of April, in fact, they were last here going head to head as that ball is kept in play and it's been dropped by the keeper. Well, the referee's blown his whistle. I think there might have been a challenge coming in from the Lions player. A 1-1 draw between these two sides back on the 20th of April, right here, of course, in front of a packed house. Now, what's the ruling here? Oh, the foul coming in from Patrick Hopsch. When they met here back in April, Kai Brunker got the opener on 9 minutes. Tim Kloss then starting in midfield today. Headed home a corner for the equaliser late in the game. And really for Saarbrücken, they only finished 3 points off Jan Regensburg, and they're on the attack here. Comes to nothing, but really too many draws for Saarbrücken last season. A league leading 15 throughout the campaign, just too many. And if they converted just 2 of those draws into wins, they'd have finished ahead of Jan Regensburg in 3rd place and gone into that promotion playoff, which Jan Regensburg did so well to win against Verhen Wiesbaden, drawing 2-2 at home, then winning 2-1 away in the second leg to move back up to the Bundesliga 2. And Verhen Wiesbaden, who only went up a year ago, already back down in the 3rd tier. Long ball forward there, taken by Volath, and well, now, Well, Volath says he was not outside his area. It looked very much like, even from this angle, looked very much like he made a mistake there. Came for the ball, perhaps shouldn't have used his hands. Actually surprised he hasn't got a yellow card for that. You call that a deliberate handball. But he's miles outside, isn't he? Well, Kasim Rabihic has a very good delivery from set pieces. He'll be a danger here. He is right-footed, though, for a more direct approach. There is a second option hanging over the ball here for Saarbrücken. A first real chance to attack here. Now, just going to be drilled in or taken to the back post. There's 5 men waiting at that back post. And it's Rabihic hotting it away at the near post. Stayler with the overhead, and it goes just over the bar, and I think a bit wide as well. Not the best of deliveries from Rabihic. That did not look far off, did it? You really need an angle from behind the goal. Probably saw Jude Bellingham score that absolute cracker for England against Slovakia in the last 16 of the Euros. Popped it right in the corner, did the Englishman. That was in second half injury time, just to keep the game alive, take it into extra time. England, of course, eventually getting to the final where, well, they were outplayed by Spain, but they still managed to keep it close. Took a late winner from La Rioja. And for that, mops up the long ball. Certainly impressed with Schiffel so far. Looks very good on the ball, very smooth. He was a regular on loan at Unterhaching last season, so he's very much aware, or rather familiar with the area. Then moved permanently from Wolfsberger this summer. Obviously liked his time down here in the southeast of Germany. Well, it's Calogero Rizzuto having to sit very deep to get hold of the ball. Nice play from Menzel. Space opening up on that right-hand side. Saarbrücken have hardly had a chance to breathe in this first half so far. Oh, there were 1,066 goals in the Dritte Liga last season. You haven't had the first of this campaign just yet. Stahler now tries to cut back inside. Good defensive work. Rizzuto just takes a bit too long to wind up to try and get that cross into the box. Well blocked off by Wolfram. There is Rüdiger Zeil, who masterminded their run to the Cup semi-final last season. One throw in. Well defended at the near post. Calogero picks the ball up again. No real pressure on the half Italian. As well to turn out of trouble. Stahler now whips one into the near post. Flicked on. The keeper hasn't got it and he gets it the second attempt. René Volaf. A bit of a heart in the mouth moment for the 1860 debutant. Just a low ball whipped in there. Very well. Good reactions there from Volaf. Not bad for a 34-year-old. He's struggling to keep the ball at the moment. Lovely play from Zeitz coming forward from centre-back. Couple of fouls there as the captain charged forward for 1860. Sorry, David Philippe, I beg your pardon. First day of the season for everyone, you know. Went over quite easily there from the challenge from Sonsheimer. Scored the equalising goal against Bayern Munich in their cup run. More pressure. Jakobsen with the delivery. Lots of blue shirts to aim at. Picked up on the edge of the area. Driven in. Well blocked. And now they can try and play their way out, Saarbrücken, but too much on that for Vasilidis. Worth noting there's also been a change of shape here for Saarbrücken. I wonder if that's down to the injury issues they've got at the moment. And they played with a back three all last season. I think they've got Calogero Rizzuto and Till Schumacher playing as full-backs at the moment. Schumacher, well, yeah, he's sort of a left back, left midfielder as well. Can quite easily do a nice wide position as a wing back. But Rizzuto, very much a more attacking player usually. Saarland-born Italian. Rizzuto. Just an aimless ball pumped forward, easily taken by Volaf. 16 minutes in. 1860 Munich, very much the better side so far. But we saw them do this last season quite often. The Lions, they could dominate possession for quite long periods, not get the goal that they needed, and all of a sudden, team opposition go up the other end, score. And it all go horribly wrong from there, and that happens so often. Say 15th in the table. At one point, they were looking at maybe getting pulled into the relegation scrap. Quadwo tidies up that one nicely. Ball now worked round to Villart. Villart again. Jakobsen turns, runs away from the first man. Now looks for the ball down that right-hand side. Good defending from Zeitz, and again with the block there, but the ball picked up on the edge of the area. Maybe a chance for a shot here. Another full stretch challenge on the edge of the deep. As Quadwo comes forward now, puts the ball out to the left. Put back in and put behind for a corner. David Philipp certainly making hay down this left-hand side. So far, anyway. Volath, I think, is all the way up into the opposition half here to try and send some instructions on. So another Jakobsen corner coming up. This time goes for the back post, headed away by Brunke. Chipped back in towards Villart, tries to get the header back across goal, but it's a white shirt there waiting for it. Volath quite a way out of his area. I think is he going to pump that long? No, he isn't. Just thought maybe with all those players down the other end of the pitch, he might go a little bit more route one there, but 1860 again. Well, they have done for quite a while now. Trying to control the ball, control the pace of the game, not give the ball away. But they have given the ball away. And now streaking down into midfield. Calogero, a little slow coming forwards, and that's not the best crossfield ball either. Making his opposite number track back quite a long way. They just need a bit of possession here, Saarbrücken, just to get their feet under the table, so to speak, in this game. There's Rizzuto again. Can run a little bit hot at times, sent off 3 times last season, Rizzuto. Here's Rabahic. Magic wand of a right foot when he's in the mood for it. Sontheimer now puts the ball in, the volley goes just wide. Well, they've only had a couple of real attacks, Saarbrücken. They come very close for both of them so far. Sontheimer picking out their man, and that is not far wide of that post. Oh, the keeper was nowhere near it. Now they can come forwards. Well spread to the right there by Gutau. Now the ball comes in, but straight behind for a goal kick. Bit of a waste there from Lucas Reich. Only made his debut on match day 35, had 2 substitute appearances, then 2 starts those last 2 games of the campaign. Very inexperienced, just 17 years of age, but well, this is the level to get that experience. Maybe move on to bigger and better things if you prove yourself good enough. Again, not much threat from Saarbrücken. again. Hosts bossing possession here. But given all that defensive injury issues for Saarbrücken, the defence holding up pretty well so far as we approach the midway mark in this first half. Jesper Verlaat is rather barged into by Rabihic, who didn't seem to be going for the ball at all. Barged in, then a bit of a hack as well. Just making sure for number 10. Oh, nice turn from... Well, that could be a first yellow card of the season, I think. Tore Jakobsen picks up a yellow. 23 minutes into his debut for 1860 Munich. And it's a bit of a stonewall of that one. So late, and went in with the arm as well, just to make sure if the hack didn't work. Just the lateness, really, the issue there. On the attack here, nice ball down that left-hand side, but Verlaat in the way. I don't think it was Verlaat's teammate. Came screeching across there to cut out that cross from Schumacher. Another new signing, Till Schumacher. Also from Klagenfurt. They can play on the left side of midfield, but he prefers the left back position. That's where he's starting today. I do wonder if Saarbrücken might change to a back four this season. We'll have to wait and find out. They've got a back four today, though, certainly. Good looking ball. Flicked away by Schiffel. Picked up by Zeitz. Back into the near post, but that's easily defended and out for a throw. Simon Stahler with the long throw, but easily headed away by Quadwo. Sontheimer now. Saarbrücken whipping the ball in there, but well anticipated by Volath. Brunker unable to get anywhere near it. As always, fantastic noise coming from the 1860 fans. Well, they sold out all 19 home matches last season. They're on the attack here as well. Through to the edge of the area, but rather a bit of a toe poke from Philipp. Easily defended by Philipp Menzel. Well, a lot of coaches will tell you if you want to attack with vim and vigour, you need a solid base at the back to do so. I think that's what we're seeing a little bit here with Saarbrücken, having to shuffle their team around in order to just get enough defenders on the pitch. And maybe that's just disturbing their attacking patterns. And certainly Stahler, Brunker and Rabihic can score and provide plenty. Stahler spent a lot of last season on the bench. Still managed 5 goals, Brunker 12. Rabihic, 7 goals and 9 assists. Plenty of production there. But those attacking 3 have hardly seen the ball so far. Well, the referee getting that call right, Patrick Hopsch. Maybe a little frustrated, he's hardly seen the ball yet on his competitive debut for 1860. You see him line up his man and just give him a little bump in the air. Here's Rizzuto, nice little flick there. And the corner goes Saarbrücken's way, good work from Sebastian Vasiliadis. He's been attacking down that inside right channel whenever he's had the opportunity. There's Patrick Sontheimer getting a bit fewer instructions from Rudiger Zeil. Two men over the corner. It's going to be left to Rabihic though, outswinger. Lots of white shirts to aim at. Needs to be a good delivery. Headed away at the near post though. Bit of a waste. Danger not entirely cleared yet though. Rabihic, well, looked like he was maybe clattered there just on the edge of the area. I'd love to see a replay of that. Now he has to be careful here. He can't go talking to the referee. Only the captains can. Something that's been deemed as... Let's have another look here. Here he is. He's in the edge of the area. Well, he's gone down far too easily. Or has he actually? Oh, the trailing leg here. Well, well, you have to say, if that happens anywhere else on the pitch, it's probably going to be a free kick. In theory, that means it should be a penalty, but we all know sometimes it can be a little bit harder to win a penalty than it is a free kick. But you can certainly understand Rudiger Zeil having a word with the fourth official. I'm just about to say, any complaints from the players have to go directly through the captain now. No one else allowed to speak to the referee, unless the captain is actually the goalkeeper, in which case there would be a designated outside player. Or, sorry, not outside player, but one of the other players out on the pitch would be designated as the captain as far as that is concerned. Schumacher just doing his best to get a nice dry ball here. Fancies himself as a bit of a long throw merchant, obviously. Well, doesn't quite reach Brunker. And he's beaten in the air as well, Schumacher. He'll have another go if he fancies another long throw from there. Perhaps wisely goes to the shorter one. And Rizzuto pumps the ball forward, a little bit too much on it. I don't think Rabihic can get there. And that's just shepherded out of play by Reich. So half an hour in, still 0-0 here. 1860 dominant for most of the opening half hour. Saarbrücken, though, come closest on 2 occasions to opening the scoring as Quadwo nearly turns his way into trouble there on his defensive flank. Saarbrücken just doing a little bit better here at squeezing 1860 now. Sontheimer spreads the ball out into space on that left-hand side. Schumacher with a chance to come forward. Can't get past Fulfram though. Does well to block the cross there with his right foot. Now Rabihic. Well defended. Schumacher doing well to just shield the ball out for Another Saarbrücken throw. Definitely starting to find their feet in the game now. Half an hour in it's taken, but the good news is for your Saarbrücken fan is it's still 0-0. Nice turn and scoots out a good cross to the back post. Steiner gets his head on there, but not enough of a contact, and Varnaf can come off his line and quickly snuff out the danger. Goes long, looking for Patrick Hopsch. But Vasiliadis drops back there to put the ball out of play, out of danger. Rizzuto couldn't resist having a little bit of the nibble there on Quadwork. So he does have previous, and he's quite late there. I mean, I'm a little bit surprised that isn't a yellow card, to be honest. Wasn't much of a foul, but he was so late and behind the ball. And in fact, he does get a yellow card. Referees do listen. So he does have to be careful, Rizzuto. He does have a bit of a habit of going in a bit too hard. He's a good player though down that right flank for Saarbrücken. As long as he can stop being suspended. So 3 sendings off in one season is careless at the very least anyway. Now, Jakobsen with another free kick, delivers it into the far post. Schumacher went down hoping for a free kick, nothing given. It's actually gone as a throw to De Lauwen. Ball stroked into the back post. A good, solid defensive header from Sonnenberg. Another of the new signings for Saarbrücken. They haven't been quite as busy as 1860 in the transfer window. Rudy Gazal just looking to add a few select pieces rather than a bit of a strip down and rebuild. As I say, they were only 3 points off promotion. They also showed just how good they could be by beating 3 consecutive Bundesliga teams in the German Cup. Also beat Karlsruhe as well in the first round from Bundesliga 2. Well, that foul going against Quadwork. Sure he knew much about that. He's back doing his defensive duties there to keep Brunke out of trouble. Stahler's turn with the long throw here. Good one as well, flicked on at the near post. Half cleared on the slip by Philip. Schumacher will now also try the long throw from this side. Didn't seem to have quite the range of Stahler on the other side of the pitch. Well, we'll have a look here. A bit too much height. It's flicked on though. And is that going out for a corner? Yes, it has. Well, not the best of long throws, but it got some sort of result at least. I think Rabihic going across to take this one. Now Rabihic 6 players right on the edge of the area to aim at 2 more also. Just tucking in behind. Picks that one into the edge of the 6-yard box. Really taken well by Volat, and there a chance on the transition here for 1860. Jakobsen forced to turn back. Still space over on that far side. Nicely taken by Reich. Still Reich, goes past one. Cuts inside another, has the shot, a goal, and the keeper nearly dropped that into the net there. Well, Philip Menzel. Bit jittery on that one. It was a bit of a P-roller, to be honest. Didn't catch it at all. Lucas Reich. And that should have been a simple take for the 25-year-old keeper. Oh, and that's why there was a little touch from the defender. Didn't see that from the original angle. Now the corner comes into the near post, flicked up. Goalmouth scramble and eventually goes into the hands of the keeper. I think there may have been a foul in there. Rizzuto was on the floor. Proper melee that inside the 6-yard box. Flicked on. I think Quadwork penalised Rizzuto going down. I would say rather too easily inside his own 6-yard box. But he won the foul for it. Here's Rabahic. Pinging the ball nicely over to Rizzuto on this near side. Rabahic trying to find some space, but really struggling. In the first half here anyway. Seitz pings the ball over to that left-hand side. And the foul given against Philip there, a bit too physical, trying to prevent the run down that left flank. Sontheimer flicks it over to the left-hand side. Now the ball chipped in, headed away at the near post, headed back into the danger area. Oh, and the keeper started to come. Schiffel was there. Head the ball out of danger. Just over 5 minutes to go to half-time of this opening game from the Dritte Liga season. 1860 Munich 0, Saarbrücken 0. Saarbrücken with a couple of great chances that just went wide of the upright. One of those, a spectacular overhead kick from Simon Stahler. And the last 10 minutes or so, the game has, it would appear, turned in Saarbrücken's favour. It's been all them, really, possession-wise, pretty pressing 1860 back into their own area. Now Rabahic with the corner. Good-looking delivery. Good defensive header from Schiffel, and he wins himself the foul as well. Brave defending. Bit of a delay between the contact and deciding to go to floor there for Schiffel. Brings the ball out of defence now to Jakobsen. Kloss. Now a bit of space here for Reich to stride into. He's faced with Elijah Kran, another one of the new signings for Saarbrücken. A bit of keep ball here late in the first half from 1860. Now the ball to Reich, who's been quite bright and breezy down that right-hand side. Ignored the pass way too late. Just not really seen by David Philippe until just too late. Good play there from Elijah Krum, the number 5 for Saarbrücken. Here from Hamburger SV rather, I beg your pardon, in the summer. Started last season in the Bundesliga 2 squad, dropped down to the reserves, was a regular there. Time to move on elsewhere to progress his career. Cladwell with a collision with Rizzuto as well. They've both gone down in a heap. Rizzuto obviously taking a shot in the lower back, it would appear. No idea why Quadwo's on the floor. Trying to kid the referee, I think. He did receive a bit of a push in the back. Quadwo, though, no idea why he was rolling around on the floor. He'll get to play this throw, though. Two minutes left before the break. Can someone break this deadlock? Again, another big header from Schiffel. And no agency to come forward. Right, puts the ball in. They're off the shoulder, I think, of Hopsch, and easily taken by Philipp Menzel. Oh, the shadows lengthening here at the Grün. Well, the Stadion. Actually, I wonder if they'll need the floodlights at all here this evening. They may get switched on later, but the official sunset would be quite a way after the end of the game, as that attempted ball into the area was easily taken by a fast-moving Menzel. Sunset should be around 9:30. The game should finish about 8:50 or so. And the stands here, not all that high, just a 15,000 capacity. So as that sun comes in over that stand to your left, it should be plenty. In fact, they have got the floodlights on. They don't appear to be doing anything at the moment. And the referee and his assistant decides that no added time required at the end of a fast and breezy first half. 1860 very much in the ascendancy for the opening 25 minutes, 30 minutes or so. Struggled, though, to break down an obdurate Saarbrücken defence, but then the last 10-15 minutes or so, Saarbrücken starting to turn it on. They came close a couple of times. René Wolof, though, happy to see both those efforts go just wide of his upright. And it's on as even here in Bavaria. At half-time, it finishes at 1860 Munich 1, Saarbrücken 1. Well, welcome back then to the Grünwalder Stadion here in deepest Bavaria. It's the opening day of the Dritte Liga season as 1860 Munich play host to Saarbrücken here in Munich. And, well, first half goalless, not a lot of chances to be honest. 1860 bossing possession for the first half hour. Not really doing a huge amount with it. Some object defending as well from Saarbrücken. A rather familiar tale, it has to be said, from that last season where 1860 really struggled to score goals. And despite an all-new strike partnership of Maximilian Wolfram and Patrick Hopsch, there hasn't been a huge amount of service for those two. Although Lucas Reich, the 17-year-old right back, has certainly impressed down his flank. With just 40 goals in 38 games last season for 1860. Compared to 60, for example, for Saarbrücken, who were by no means the top scorers in the division. In fact, only the bottom two teams in the table, of which 4 were relegated, scored fewer than 1860. But again, there's a lot of new players in this team this season. Well, that takes the official attendance up from 15,000 to 15,004. Thanks to those ladies up there on that balcony. As ever, a vociferous crowd here in Munich. So they could fill this stadium twice over quite happily. However, when they went down the 4th division a few years back, they lost really their rights, or their shared rights, on the Allianz Arena, which they used to share with Bayern. And they could get 30, 40,000 at a good game in there. And if they do at any point go back up to Bundesliga 2, they won't be able to take this stadium with them. They'll actually, as things stand, have to move back into the old Olympiastadion that was built for the 1972 Summer Olympics. Anyway, enough of that now. We're back underway here at the Grünwalder Stadion. 1860 in blue, kicking from left to right in this second half, and they've got the an early foul here. Hopsch going down now. Where's he? He's had a little flick on the ankle, I think. He'll just milk that for a couple of steps and then start running again. Siliadis has, I think, impressed in that first half on his debut for Saarbrücken. Here from Hansa Rostock. Now Brunke able to make some progress on the right hand side, inside to Stahler, leaves it alone, and then the attempted pass through for Stahler, cut out by Velat. So the last 10-15 minutes or so of the first half was really all Saarbrücken. Now, Kran has to be a little bit careful there. He's going to get a yellow card for delaying the restart of the game. Utterly unnecessary yellow card, this. Why would you bother? You know you're going to get a yellow card if you do that. And then, of course, we didn't see actually him then sort of trying to dribble the ball away from the man trying to take the throw. So, real waste of a yellow card. I mean, the old-fashioned fan in me rather thinks if you're going to get a yellow card, at least clatter someone, maybe slow them down a bit. Now Rabihic couldn't quite bring that ball under his spell, and well, yeah, Wolfram penalised there for trapping the ball between his feet. This is what the yellow card was for. And then, yes, getting in the way as well, as Reich tried to take that throw. Really, when there was no danger there, it was a bit of a silly one, that, from the 20-year-old midfielder. So fresh from Hamburg in the summer, and from their reserve side, having made a few substitute appearances in the Bundesliga 2 early in the campaign. 20 years of age, plenty of time to develop. Quadwo heads the ball clear. Sontheimer with a timely touch. Now to Schumacher. Spreads the ball out to Rabihic on this left-hand side. Rabihic wants to turn onto his right foot. Hasn't quite been at the races yet so far. There's a Rabihic. That's a nice ball in. Well, claims for a penalty, nothing given. A man still down there for Saarbrücken. He needs to get up. Saarbrücken effectively down to 10 men at the moment. 1860 coming forwards. Quadwo on the left-hand side. Got options left and right. Goes wide. Back to Quadwo again. Jakobsen. Been playing nicely at the base of midfield for 1860. Some good set-piece deliveries as well. And the ball eventually comes off of Hopsch and through to Philip Menzel. Like the beard. Saarbrücken look like that. Carrying on where they left off at the end of the first half here. A few little adjustments and all of a sudden it's they that are bossing possession. I say they've been forced into a change of formation, I suspect, due to some of the injuries they've had in the defensive part of the squad. Oh, that's a nice little bit of play there. The attempted cross cut out from Schumacher. Back to Kran again. Now he lots it into the back post. Quadwo heads it away. Now Gutau can use a bit of pace here to move the game back up the pitch. Gutau. Calogero goes down. Not quite sure why. That's a free kick. Must have missed something there. Now Velat goes over to have a word. Only the captain can speak to the referee now, and anyone else tries speaking to the captain, straight yellow card. Oh, there we see it. Sneaky there with the pull of the shirt on the blind side. And like all footballers, immediately protest his innocence. Schumacher. Back to Kran. Nice little layoff there for Schumacher. He now has a bit of space to run into. He's got Rabihic with him as well. Here is Rabihic. Into Kran. Kran trying to get that back to Rabihic, but that's been well tracked by Jakobsen. Rabihic goes down a bit theatrically, and now he's not in the game as Saarbrücken have to defend. And that's inadvertently a good bit of defending there from Manuel Zeitz, the captain. No changes from either coach just as yet. Rabihic trying to use a bit of a sleight of body there to throw the defender the wrong way, but Velat knew exactly what was coming. Velat very proud to have been retained as captain and leader of the leadership group for this 1860 squad. There was a bit of a vote within the squad during the off-season. Velat voted again to be kept on as captain. Tore Jakobsen, Marco Hiller, Patrick Hopsch, Morris Schröter, Max Reintaler and Tim Kloss also elected to the team council, as they call it here in Germany. Now then, Rabihic and Schumacher over this one. Right, left options. 6 men to aim at on the edge of the area. 8 blue shirts defending. Whipped into the back post, and that's really well taken by Volaf. Appears to have clattered into his own man, Wolfram there. Very good goalkeeping from Volaf. Didn't look like there was much in the way of contact, to be honest. Certainly nothing to the head. Now then. Well, that is the distinctive figure of Morris Schroeter on the sidelines, getting his instructions before making his appearance. I suspect Gutau or Philippe will be the teammate to make way. And we have a collision here between Quadwo. Well, not really a collision, but Quadwo going down, grimacing, giving the screen, and had the cheeky little look up to see what the referee's doing. And that tells you all you need to know. And he's up. Kanajiro Rizzuto staying down a little bit longer. The inevitable thumbs up from the medical team. So it is David Philippe who comes off for Morris Schroeter. Like for like, he likes to play on the right-hand side of the attack as Morris Schroeter. 7 goals, 7 assists last season, a regular fixture in the side. To make do with a spot on the bench for the start of this one, though. David Philippe, though, also a very decent player, missed a lot of the season injured. And the free kick does go Saarbrücken's way. High defensive line here. Lots of white shirts up for this one. Taken short. Now the ball comes into the back post, headed back across goal, but straight into the hands of Volaf. Sven Sonnenberg unable to get the direction he wanted. Now, what can 1860 do on transition here? Right, cuts inside one. Well, there was a clip, but very late decision from the referee. A little bit surprised he took so long with that one. If he'd given the signal that he was letting play go on from the foul, then he can go back to it. Just a little dippy touch of the toes there for Rabihic. Oh, the sun just dipping down behind the west stand at the far left-hand side of our screen. And Jakobsen again, going to flight this one on left-footed. 6 blue shirts to Weimar in the box. Thumping header away from Brunke. Reich picks up the ball, back to Volaf. Got Jakobsen to his side, but Volaf instead goes long. Still plenty of blue shirts to Weimar up there. Didn't quite get the direction right. Krah spreads the ball out to Sonnenberg. Now the ball driven forwards, too much on it though, and Schiffel can just allow that to go through to his teammate at Unterhaching last season, René Volaf. 34 years of age, René Volaf. Can't think he's got too many years left in him at this level. Certainly impressive with Unterhaching last season. Former youth international René Volaf, back in his time with Nuremberg and Hoffenheim. In those days, Nuremberg would have been in the Bundesliga as well as Hoffenheim, that is. Rizzuto. Has to cut back now. The ball driven cross field, nicely taken down by Schumacher. I'll say 1,066 goals in the Dritte Liga last season. 2.81 per match, that is, apparently. Strong play from Brunker, and eventually gets shoved to the floor by Jakobsen after the two contested a keen 50-50. Rizzuto going to flight this one into the edge of the area. Just needs to drop it in behind that defensive line, but not too close to the goalkeeper. Keeper again, though, comes out and either didn't call or Schiffel didn't hear the call. Two rather getting in each other's way. Stahler with the long throw, headed away by Schiffel. Stahler heads it back to Krahn. Now Sontheimer, back to Krahn again. Krahn being rather manhandled by Schroeter over on that far side, and eventually Reich drives the ball off the number 5 and out for a goal kick. Olaf. Going to take this goal kick long. Lovat goes long, finds Schroeter. He's got Krahn for company over there. And Schumacher gets a toe in, puts the ball out for a throw. Not the fastest of wide players, Schroeter, but plenty of strength and skill as well. And a rather scenic sunset over there behind the West curve. And there's a camera angle we might have found quite useful in the first half. On a couple of occasions, Villat does well to win the ball high up the pitch. Schroeter cuts inside a couple, gets the shot off, but a bit of a dribbler straight into the hands of Menzel. Good play, though, from the 1860 captain. Schroeter not getting the contact he wanted, I think, with that shot. And the ball just allowed to run out of play there by Sonnenberg. And a fairly quiet debut, or competitive debut at least for Saarbrücken today. Sonnenberg, I think, would be quite happy with that. Especially in a away game. Now Villat trying to encourage his teammates forward. Here is Reich, the right back. Schroeter now combining. Well, intercepted there by Krahn. Rabahich, though, again. Not quite getting his dribbling right today. A couple of times he tried to take the ball and the ball hasn't gone with him. Krahn using his body strength there just to shrug off a couple of challenges as Hopsch closes down Menzel, but he finds a good ball out, and then Rizzuto makes the mistake there, allowed the ball to bounce. Should have trapped it first time. Battling play there from Vasiliadis. Wins the foul as well. There's going to be changes afoot. Much more even, actually, this second half. First half was a half of two halves in which 1860 dominated one and Saarbrücken the other, but this is a bit more seesaw now as we hit the 20th minute of this second half. 25 minutes to go now. One thing I will say, though, it's been an even second half. There have been no chances whatsoever, really. It looks like Patrick Schmidt is about to come on, about trying to add a bit of extra firepower up top. Just wonder if Brunker might be lacking a little bit of fitness this early in the season. A little bit of space on that right-hand side. The ball driven to the back post. It's Rabihic, and it's cleared off the line by Schiffel. The keeper beaten for the first time today. Schiffel, the new man, at the back for 1860 there to save their blushes. To be fair, Rabihic didn't really, I think he jumped for that, didn't need to. Seemed to come off the chest rather than the head. A little bit lucky there for 1860. A good move down the right-hand side. So here is Patrick Schmidt. 30 years of age. Got 3 goals in the opening 6 games of last season. Missed the rest of it with a broken leg. Be hoping for a bit of better luck this campaign. Kai Brunker, the man to make way, who certainly made his mark on the side in Schmidt's absence last season. Stahler. Oh, and the shot eventually comes off the back of a teammate, then whipped in again to the near post, cleared by Schiffel. Who else? Guttau puts his foot through it. Sontheimer dropping deep, covering for Rizzuto, who gives the ball away over on that far side. Jakobsen, nearly gives the ball away to Rabihic, who then Villard made a last-ditch tackle there. Otherwise, Saarbrücken were in behind and in on goal. Now here's Reich. Finds Schröter. Good layback, but picked off on the edge of the area by Vasiliadis. Now Rizzuto on the far side. Does he have a bit of space to come forwards? And he's pretty well covered there by Wolfram. Rabihic now, Schumacher outside, and Rabihic goes inside. Well, minimal contact perhaps, but certainly not enough for a penalty, says the referee. I do like this new captain's rule, I must say. Does mean you don't end up with a cluster of players around the referee after every decision. Let's have a look at this one. No, there's no way that's a penalty. But I must say, in the first half, there was definitely a very good shout for a penalty. Also for a challenge on Rabihic on the edge of the area, where his back leg got clamped. This was just brilliant defending there from Villard at full strength to deny Sontheimer. Now 1860 come forward. Too much on the ball though, Hopsch. Well, we know he's a good striker, Patrick Hopsch. 13 goals last season. with Unterhaching. 28 and 27 in the 2 seasons before that in the 4th tier. 13 in the Dritte Liga last campaign. 1860 need that sort of goal production. Be interesting to see actually how Unterhaching fared this season with, well, at least 3 of their first team now playing for 1860 this season. 1860 do have a bit more money. Right, well here do come the changes then. So Fabian Schubert, 29-year-old Austrian striker, about to come on. I think we saw Tune Denis as well, 30-year-old midfielder, warming up. Calmly played back by Villard. Now Schiffel. Gattal dropping deep, trying to turn and thread the ball through for Quadwo. Sonnenberg with a delicate clearance, and now maybe a chance over on that far side. Good defending from Gattal. Sontheimer picks out a nice pass down that right-hand side. Space to play with here, and 4 white shirts to aim at in the area. Here's Stahler, cuts it back, and the shot goes straight at the keeper from Schmidt. His first touch, I think, Patrick Schmidt, and it was nearly the opener as well. I think Volaf, rather lucky, that went straight at him. Good positioning, of course. But if that's much more than a yard to the side, he's probably not getting down in time from that sort of range. Now Rabahic again tries to cut inside, again gets no change out of this 1860 defence. He's been well shackled, the number 10 for Saarbrücken. Now Jakobsen charges forward, and that's a brilliant sliding tackle from Manuel Zeitz. And now Rabahic maybe with a bit more room rather to run into. Got support outside him as well. Rabic, nice little pass inside there for Rizzuto. Rizzuto drives down at the byline, gets the cross in, and there's the opener. Oh, just moments after Patrick Schmidt was denied by René Volaf. His second touch of the game, and he's found the back of the net. 71 minutes it's taken. And Saarbrücken are into the lead of a tightly contested contest here at the Grünwalder Stadion. Lovely play down the right-hand side. Nicely stood up there by Rizzuto. Lovely play. Classic fullback play from Rizzuto. Really well played from Schmidt. Just got there ahead of Villard. Steered it into the far corner. No chance for the goalkeeper. And Saarbrücken now leading by a goal to 0 with just over 18 minutes to play. Well, they held the lead here back in April when these two teams clashed at the Grünwalder. On that occasion, Brunke put them in the lead very early on in the 9th minute. It took until the 84th for 1860 to get back on level terms. So Tim Kloss is out. Marlon Frey, stalwart from last season, comes on in his place. Neudecker. Coming on. And Kasim Rabihic has had a poor game, but was very much involved in that goal, has been hooked as well. Richard Neudecker comes on, another former youth international. In fact, he was a youth international while he was playing here for 1860. Was a 27-year-old. Moved to St. Pauli for a bit, then back here again. And then straight to Saarbrücken 2 years ago. So Patrick Hopsch had a pretty frustrating debut for 1860 so far. He's been withdrawn. So Fabian Schubert, Austrian striker, 29 years of age here from St. Gallen in the Swiss Super League. 3 goals, 1 assist, but only 3 starts and a bunch of subs last season in the Swiss Super League. Coming here for some, what he hopes will be some regular play. And if that's what he would like, I would suggest that scoring an equaliser on his debut would be a very good way of going about it. Long ball forward. Looking for the run of Guitao, but straight out for a goal kick. Well, you can certainly hear the Saarbrücken fans behind the goal to our right, enjoying the second half rather more, I think, than they did the first, that's for certain. Intercepted there by Jakobsen. Nice bit of play, gets the ball to Quadwo. Now Guitao. Heavy first touch allows Saarbrücken to get back in possession. Here's Rizzuto. He's a couple of times about the cross, decides to just keep possession there, just pops it into Sontheimer. Only now he nearly gets the ball through to Schmidt, but Villart was there to half block the run and it goes through harmlessly to Volath. Oh, and Naifi, another one of those substitutes, nearly pouncing on a mistake at the back. It's all getting a little bit ragged here for the Lions, and they try and work their way back into this game. And the ball through. Well, it was Tunai Dennis, another one of the substitutes we didn't actually see come onto the pitch. "30-year-old midfielder. Guitao with it. Unable again to get away from his marker. Long ball forward, headed away by Sonnenberg. Be some defending to be done over the next quarter of an hour or so for this makeshift Saarbrücken back four. As Denise is penalised for the foul, gives a little bit of afters to Sontheimer as well on his way past. I must say, with Saarbrücken having come so close to the promotion places last season, despite that long cup run, rather distracting them, shall we say, from their Dritte Liga duties as well. And also they had problems with the pitch as well back in Saarland, with drainage there due to, I mean, it is a high rainfall area, but we've been promised that they'll have sorted that one out over the summer. I guess we'll see as the season rolls on and the rain starts to fall. There's another look at the earlier chance. And here's the goal. Lovely play between Rabihic and Rizzuto. stood the ball up beautifully there for Schmidt, and he made no mistake at all. So he missed all bar the first 6 games of last season with a broken leg. Will be an emotional return for him for sure. Not played since September. Actually, that's wrong. I think he actually had a on-substitute appearance on the last day of last season. Vasiliadis nearly dispossessed there by Schubert. Here's Schumacher. Looks like Tim Danoff's about to get a run out here. 4 goals, 4 assists from right back. And there's Geberger-Auer last season. Another summer arrival. Certainly had a high turnover of playing staff over the summer of 1860. Marlon Frey goes down looking for the foul that he did get. We're going to get another substitution. And it's like for like, right back for right back. Lucas Reich makes way. Tim Danhoff, he's 27 years of age. And for the old-fashioned purists out there, good to see a right back with a number 2 on his shirt. Oh, and the ball given away there by Volath, and Stoller goes for the shot from distance. I think he just slipped. A little bit too anxious maybe, Stoller, and it looks like he might have done himself a mischief trying to do that. I think his standing leg, his left leg that he's holding now, slipped over. Jakobsen dropping deep again, trying to ping those long balls forward. Naifi, who's moved from Luxembourg, has been made permanent over the summer, having been on loan from Luxembourg side Diffa d'Anjou 3. 5 goals, 2 assists for him last season in 27 appearances. Enough for Saarbrücken to throw a contract his way. Now Guttau, who's moved over to the right-hand side now, later on in the game. Jakobsen spreading the ball out to Schiffel, who's also appears to have moved his positioning slightly. He was on the right-hand side of the 2 centre-backs at the start of the game, but I think now 1860 gone 3 at the back, pushing more men forward. And he's covering over on that left-hand side. There's Simon Stoller. Is about to be withdrawn here. With Julian Günther Schmidt, more of a natural wide player, coming on in his place. Just the 12 starts last season, 22 substitute appearances, and 3 assists for Günther Schmidt. Long ball over the top, but Günther Schmidt offside there, a little bit too keen. Full of vim and vigour, having just come off the bench. Just over 7 minutes plus stoppages to go in this second half, and again, very little in the way of stoppages here. And he's quite obviously offside. Good little step up from Villaert just at the vital moment. Frey Moves the ball out to Gutau. Gutau cuts inside, away from Sontheimer. It's all a bit sideways this from 18 City, not really making any headway. That's a good ball in, but well, the defender just hoofed clear. Anywhere will do for Saarbrücken. I do think after those 15 draws last season from Saarbrücken, if they can get off to a winning start this campaign, especially away from home, that'll really stand them in good stead for the season ahead. For 1861, they've got a lot of new players to assimilate into a team. It might be a slightly sticky start for Janikis' side in the opening couple of months. That's if he's still in a job. He also had quite a poor finish to last season as well. There's Günther Schmidt now. Rampages down the right-hand side. It's faced by Schiffel. I think there might have been a slight deflection off the defender there. The ball going straight to Volath. Danhoff. Gutau. Schiffel. Back to Schiffel again. Looks like Jakobsen's moved into a back three actually. He's sitting so deep now. Allowing the wing backs. So Tim Damhoff now and Leroy Quadwo to move forward into midfield. Something that we saw quite a lot from them last season. Not necessarily successfully though. Naifi does well to keep that ball in play. Schumacher. Siliadis tries to feed the ball forward, cut out by Velat. Jakobsen. Tackled by Naifi. Saarbrücken players wanted a throw, not coming their way though. Need some urgency here from De Lauwen. Schiffel. Velat back to Schiffel. Again, a lot of sideways passing, but this is a bit better now. Coming forward, the shot from a long way out, and there were plenty of players up in support as well. Bit of a waste. I think Nagiris Janikis not too happy with that. I don't think he's got any more substitutes to play now. Well, Saarbrücken will be happy to have the ball down in that far corner. It's been well worked as well. The second goal would certainly, I think, make the 3 points safe. As Neudecker penalised for a little bit of a tug. Volath urging his teammates forward. Goes as long as he can with the goal kick. Only gets it to the centre circle. Naifi heading the ball back over for the run. Schmidt, and just saw the little shove in the back there of the defender. Danhoff lays the ball off. Guttel now drives forward down the right-hand side. Naifi with him. Cuts back inside. Now the ball comes in. Headed away by Vasiliadis. That throw goes Saarbrücken's way. Sonsheim wants a bit more from the fans. Minute and a half to go here, plus stoppages for Saarbrücken. Can they get the season off to a winning start? Neudecker eventually gets the foul he was looking for. Belat, I think, playing up front now. Appeals for extra time from the referee. Ball hit long-headed, half away by Marlon Frey. Belat definitely playing up top now. Gets involved a couple of times there, but Sonsheim emerges with the ball, stabs it back to the keeper. Not the best of passes, but worked out in the end. Schiffel heads that up rather than away. Just 3 minutes of time to be added on here. There were none in the first half, by the way. Now Neudecker against his former club. Tried to slide that one through, gets the ball back rather inadvertently. Schiffel eventually gets the defensive job done. Not for the first time today. Ooh, nice little touch from Belat. Wasted at the back. Here's the 1860 captain. And now Schroeter. To Schubert, the ball deflects and tipped over the bar by the goalkeeper. Well, that's the closest Munich had come to a goal all game, and it's taken till the 91st minute. Good move as well, Schroeter. Giving it the impetus, Schubert picking up the ball there. Two defenders in there to try and block it, and eventually the keeper tips it just over the bar, and that was going in as well. And Volath is up here from the back for 1860. Everything being thrown forward here. I think I can see the kitchen sink hanging out at the back post as well. Ball to the back post. Volath does get his head to it, and eventually it comes off Belat. Double fist pump there from Philipp Menzel. And this is the opportunity again. I think it came off the outstretched leg of Sonnenberg. Good goalkeeping from Menzel. Well, just a minute and a half left for 1860. It'd be hard to say they deserve an equaliser. They just haven't threatened the goal really enough. Just that deflected shot. Other than that, Menzel has been pretty anonymous. One half-decent save made early in the first half. But that's been about it. Strong challenge comes in from Danhoff. Naifi on this near side. Runs the ball into the corner. Can't believe he hasn't won the throw. Well, a smile to the linesman from Naifi. The ball hasn't been cleared yet, and that's been hooked back towards the goal, just over the bar, just trying to catch Volath out there. 15 seconds left, plus maybe a few more. Schiffel can't get the ball forward. And the foul goes Saarbrücken's way. That's surely going to be that. Sonsheimer goes down. Well, the referee just going to add this time straight onto the clock. maybe a little bit of cramp. It is the first game of the season after all. Not all the players will be in full fitness just as yet. Patrick Sontimer is only 26. He's not like he's an old man out there. He might look a bit older than he is. Saarbrücken take the free kick long. Over to Naifi on this near side. He's going to run into the corner again, isn't he? There he goes. Does a bit better with it this time. And does enough to run down the clock. And it's the perfect start for Saarbrücken. Rudiger Zeil's side recovering from a rocky opening half hour in which they were very much backs to the wall. As 1860 knocked on the door, but no real clear-cut opportunities for De Lauwen. Allowed Saarbrücken to work their way back into the game. The second half much more even. But in the 71st minute, Patrick Schmidt came off the bench and struck the opener with a beautifully guided header after a lovely bit of play by Kasim Rabihic and Kalajiro Rizzuto down the right-hand side. That one goal, the difference, 1860, well, as it was last season, struggling to make chances. Only one real save made by Philip Menzel, and that was in the 91st minute after a deflected shot nearly dipped in under the crossbar. But in the end, Saarbrücken just about deserved winners here on the opening day of the Dritte Liga season, as the visitors have come to the Grunwalder Stadion, and they'll be leaving with a 1-0 win to take back to Saarland.